as we look at the S500, the first one came out in 1994. And it was just, you had a lot of contractors like myself. I'm a contractor and people need this, so we try and figure out how to help them. We had carpet cleaners and people called them and said, my carpet's all soaking wet. And they said, well, let me come suck it out and we'll throw in a couple fans. And it started to become its own industry where they were kind of merging together. And a group got together in 94 and wrote this first standard and reference guide. So it has 18 pages. The blue pages are the actual standard language. The white pages is the reference material or the reference guide. This is about 1/4 inch thick, 18 pages of standard, but good information was a good start. The next edition came out in 1999, and this edition is about 3/8 of an inch thick, still has only 18 pages of standard language in it, but more information in the reference guide and better language in the standard. As I kind of learn, these are always what's called living document. They're always being, put together. The next edition came out in 2006. Now, this is over an inch thick. It has 88 pages in the standard and a whole lot of really good information in the reference guide. So a huge difference just in the standard itself, but something else even really more significant happened with this edition, and that's ANSI accreditation. And so what happens with ANSI is you might have a pair of safety glasses that says ANSI on the side. ANSI didn't make those glasses. They've said, yes, these glasses meet our rigid criteria to protect your eyes depending on the activity you're undertaking. The S500, to go with ANSI accreditation, ANSI they're not saying what's in here is right. ANSI is not water damage people. They have no idea if it's right. What they're saying is the procedures that were followed to write this document followed their protocol. And so in a nutshell, what that means is ANSI says that in order for it to have ANSI accreditation, rules and processes are followed to ensure that a standard doesn't represent or favor one industry, company, or person, and the standard is created using a balance of interest for the good of the industry. And so this was put together with a group of insurance professionals, restoration professionals, equipment manufacturers, chemical formulators, all sorts of different people with some interest in the industry got together. Takes about 4 or 5, 6 years to put one of these together and came out with this. And when they did that, they go through the process, they write it all up. When the document's prepared, it goes out for a public peer review. Anybody can get a copy of this document and a spreadsheet. And you say, 12.3.7 says this, and you put it on the spreadsheet and you send it to the committee that says, no, you say this, and that's wrong. And you can give web pages and white pages and whatever articles you want to say this is wrong and this is why it's wrong. And the committee, the consensus body, has to go through every one of those thousands of comments and respond to them individually. We understand your concern. Thank you for the information. We agree with you. We're going to change the language. Or, as a consensus body, we very clearly understand what you're saying here. We just simply disagree, and we're not going to change the language. And then if any of those changes are what's called a substantive change, then the whole document, or at least that part of it, has to go back out for another peer review. So it goes to this peer review process. And then after the peer review process, there's actually an appeals process that if anybody still isn't satisfied, they can appeal through ANSI. So by the time it gets this ANSI accreditation on here, if you ever wind up in court or have a dispute, this is the document that they're going to turn to and say, this is what it says. It has a lot of legal weight behind it by the time you get there. So that was 2006. The next edition came out in 2015. A lot of good information, some significant changes in the document itself, about the same amount of information here. And then the most current edition came out in May of 2021. And what happened on this one is this is the standard on this one, 88 pages and the reference guide. And they were split apart like we did in 2015 with the S520 for mold, where now it's 2 different documents. And the problem is people say, well, it says right here in the S500. And somebody says, well, not really. That's the white pages. There's only a reference guide. It's not part of the standard. Well, it's in the book here. So just to clarify that further, make it easier for ANSI, the new edition is just the standard of care. The reference guide will be coming out later on as a standalone document. There is an appendix in here that's not part of the standard of care, so kind of the same thing, but a lot of the information is going to be in a different document. So this is the current edition of the S500 standard of care. And if you are going to be doing carpet cleaning for clients, then you should have in your company and know the S100. If you're doing upholstery cleaning, you should have the S300. If you're doing water damage, you should have and know the S500, mold S520. Have the standard that goes along with the service you're providing, because this is the international standard of how things are supposed to be done.